Well, join me now from New York is Mike Bako, sports editor at dailynational.com. Good to speak with you again, Mike.
Good to be with you as well.
So, in the history of the modern Olympics, we've seen the Games cancelled only 3 times over war. This is the first time it's being postponed. Talk to us about the impact of a host city, Tokyo.
Well, the impact is in the dollars and cents. You heard that earlier report that said it's about $15 billion all in right now. That's up from about $12 billion if it would have happened last summer. Now, the interesting thing and some reporting that's come out is that that number is actually probably on the low side. So they're saying it increased to about $15 billion. It's probably closer to $20, $25 billion if you move around some of the logistical concerns, like, you know, where the infrastructure is being spent and transportation and building of infrastructure, hospitality, things of that nature. You're probably looking at closer to $20 billion. So there's a lot of money on the line right now. International rights fees. Tokyo really needs to make this money back, and the IOC needs to make this money back. That's why the games are being pushed forward.
And Mike, what about the toll on the athletes who have been physically and mentally training for what must be a career highlight? What does a whole year, an extra year of build-up mean for them?
Well, if you think about an Olympic athlete, you're talking about a finite time when they're at their prime. If you're thinking about some of the swimmers, it's probably in that early 20s range. Certainly with the gymnasts on the younger side, most of them are in their teens. So that one extra year when your entire life really is being planned for the 2020 games, all of a sudden that postponement, now you have another year of training. That sets your body clock back. Now, some people may think, oh, well, that's another year of training. But it's also another year of possibility for injuries. It's another year of other athletes that are doing that same training. So it's really logistically challenging for them as well to plan for these games that originally they weren't sure were going to happen. Now they think they're going to happen, but that's still anyone's guess.
We know there's a lot of talk about Tokyo implementing new measures to counter the spread of the coronavirus, but how confident are you that the world is ready for such a big event by next summer? What's the buzz in the sporting world?
That's the scary part right now, whether it becomes how many people are vaccinated. Are they doing rapid tests? Are they allowing contingents from other countries to travel in the form of spectators? Certainly, they could control it if it's just the Olympic contingents of the athletes and the officials, but you're still talking about thousands of people, let alone all the people that are needed to actually have the games take place. So you're looking at an extra thousands of people in that regard. But again, Tokyo, really the reason why a lot of these cities want to host these games for the prestige, but also for the international travelers to come there to build up the reputation of their city. Certainly, Tokyo does not need much in the way of reputation building, but they're looking for that additional tourist dollars, which potentially will be lost. Billions of dollars will be lost inside of Tokyo to those people that were counting on it.
And of course, Mike, in just about 14 months, Beijing is set to host the 2022 Winter Olympics. How is COVID-19 affecting those games potentially?
It's an interesting dichotomy when you think about the 2022 games. Interesting report just came out that close to 1 million people signed up at the volunteer portal to be volunteers for the 2022 games. A lot of those people volunteered from within China. So the desire to help with those games is quite strong. Certainly front of mind for everyone is probably thinking 2022, this will be long behind us. But in terms of planning for the games, so much of the infrastructure is already in place from previous games. Obviously, on the winter side, things are going to be a little bit different, but they're further ahead than most host cities would be at this stage. So they're really in the home stretch of their planning. A lot of those winter facilities are being built from the ground up. Certainly from a public relations standpoint, we've talked about this before, where they're just trying to raise awareness for a lot of these Olympic sports within China. So it's going to be an uphill climb, but it's one that they've been planning for now for 5-6 years.